everything was going so well, and the highs were there, and all of a sudden there was the biggest low of all time.
Peter McNamara was a tennis star rocking the courts in both singles and doubles, scoring 3 Grand Slam doubles titles. Life was on the upswing until suddenly tragedy struck. A serious illness crept in and sadly took his life. And that's just the beginning of the heartbreak that kept him from returning to the game he loved. Stay tuned to hear the full story. Peter McNamara, born on July 5, 1955, in Melbourne, Australia, had quite the journey. Growing up in Melbourne, where his dad owned a haberdashery store, Peter went to Marcellin College, a Catholic school in Ballina. Once he hit the pro tour, he teamed up with Paul McNamee, who came from a less privileged background. McNamee once said, "We were different personalities, but quickly realized it was futile trying to change one another. The main point was that our games complemented each other's." Peter, known for his on-court flair, is probably best remembered for his incredible doubles partnership with McNamee. The Supermacs, as they were called, snagged the Wimbledon men's doubles titles in 1980 and 1982, plus the Australian Open in 1979. They were among the 14 titles they won as one of Australia's most successful tennis teams. McNamee fondly recalls, "He lived life to the fullest. He was just great company. I was lucky to know him for over 50 years as a friend." Peter's doubles success didn't stop there. He won 19 doubles titles in total, including 3 with Swiss player Heinz Gunthard and others, with fellow Australian Paul Cronk and American Billy Martin. To put it simply, he was quite the athlete. Before I dive further into his backstory, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our latest content. Now, back to Peter. He also had an impressive singles career, winning 5 singles titles and reaching world number 7 in 1983. He had victories over legends like Jimmy Connors and even Lendl, and had notable Grand Slam results, reaching the Australian Open semifinals in 1980 and the quarterfinals of both Wimbledon in 1981 and the French Open in 1982. I mean, how cool is that? McNamee mentions the 1981 Hamburg title, where Peter defeated Connors in the final, as one of the highlights of his career. What Peter did in Hamburg that year was unbelievable. He beat Connors in the final just a week after taking down Lendl in the World Cup in Dusseldorf, McNamee recalled. He was just playing out of his mind. Finishing 1981 and 1982 in the top 10 in the world was an amazing feat. Peter's rise in both singles and doubles was a testament to his stunning all-court style. McNamee said, "His backhand was something else. You could make postcards out of it. It was that beautiful. There wasn't a better-looking backhand around." Peter was especially proud of representing Australia in the Davis Cup. He had a 10-11 win-loss record, 9-7 in singles, 1-4 in doubles, across 10 ties between 1980 and 1986. He was part of the Australian team that won the Davis Cup in 1986, winning singles matches against New Zealand in the first round before Australia clinched the title against Sweden in the final. As you can see, he had settled quite comfortably into that tennis life, and his entire world revolved around the sport. But as fate would have it, tragedy first struck him in the form of a life-altering injury. In 1983, Peter climbed to number 7 in the singles rankings. But just as he was hitting his peak, he had to retire from both singles and doubles competition 4 years later. This happened right after he defeated Ivan Lendl in the final of an indoor tournament in Brussels. Here's how it went down. In the next tournament in Rotterdam, the acrylic hardcourt surface had uneven edges. During his first-round match against Jiri Granat, Peter stepped on an affected area, twisted his knee, and that effectively ended a career that many believed was on the verge of greatness. Bill Norris, the chief physio on the ATP Tour, rushed to his side. Peter tore the anterior cruciate ligament and damaged his medial meniscus on those warped boards, Norris said. He went through months of rehab, but his mobility was never quite the same. How heartbreaking is that? It's incredible how something as simple as a twisted knee can change the course of a promising career, don't you think? Naturally, he was off the tour for 21 months, and his victory over Lendl turned out to be the last singles title he ever won. "Macca's backhand was as good as I've ever seen, one-handed and beautiful," said Pat Cash, who was emerging as a top Australian Davis Cup player around the same time. Back in 1981, before that tragedy shook his world, his all-around talent shone brightly when he won the German Open, beating Jimmy Connors 7, 6, 6, 1-4, 6, 6-4, in what I consider the best match I ever saw him play. Even though European clay wasn't Connors' best surface, it was still a remarkable achievement. Hamburg's Rothenbaum Club has some of the heaviest clay courts, thanks to its damp climate, and few naturally attacking players enjoy playing on it. But unlike Connors, McNamara had done his homework. During the summers of 1977 and 1978, he skipped the main ATP Tour to play in smaller events all over France, from Beaulieu on the Mediterranean coast to La Baule on the Atlantic. "Great for my clay court game," he once reflected. "Great food and wine, everyone seems pleased to see me, and I get a few hundred francs guaranteed." It really shaped him into a fine clay court player. Once he realized his knee would never fully recover, he didn't let the grief take over him. That's just the kind of adaptable nature he had. Instead, he took up coaching and became a tough taskmaster. He arrived in Toulouse with a young Mark Philippoussis, giving some advice about work ethic. Philippoussis took his lessons to heart and went on to reach the finals of Wimbledon and the U.S. Open. Later, he worked with Grigor Dimitrov at the Patrick Mouratoglou Academy in Paris, then with Matt Ebden, and until recently with the Chinese player Wang Qiang, whose WTA ranking rose to number 20 under his guidance. But the knee injury wasn't even the final blow. A disease took over his life, weakening his otherwise strong body, and stopped him from continuing his tennis journey altogether. Soon he passed away at his home in Germany on a Saturday night after a long and courageous battle with prostate cancer. According to family friend and commentator David Law, he continued to play exhibition matches and coach throughout his illness, with few people ever knowing of his struggle. It's amazing how he managed to keep his battle with cancer so private while still being active in tennis. His story is truly inspiring. Even after being diagnosed with prostate cancer, he kept coaching and playing exhibition matches. He was still trying to hit a few balls, McNamee said, reflecting on McNamara's passion for life and tennis. He was a tennis player who loved his life and loved his profession. He passed away peacefully, with his wife Petra by his side. He leaves behind 4 children and 5 grandchildren. He wouldn't realize the outpouring of love that there's been today, McNamee mentioned at his funeral, overwhelmed by the positive messages from many of the game's most prominent figures. "I've had hundreds of messages, from John McEnroe to Darren Cahill, to Wally Mazer and Pat Cash. I could go on and on." Craig Tiley, CEO of Tennis Australia, described the late athlete as one of the great people of our sport. Tiley said, "I always felt that he was in many ways invincible because of his life as a player and as a coach." If you read what people are saying today, it's clear how much he cared about individuals and their development. Every player he coached improved and went to a different level after working with him. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our latest one on Roger Taylor. I'm sure you'll like it.
And you're an amateur, but yet your life is tennis.
Arthur Ashe, an undisputed legend in the world of tennis, faced a tragic twist in his life when a mismanaged blood transfusion caused him to contract AIDS, which ultimately claimed his life. Arthur Robert Ashe Jr. was an American tennis star known for his incredible achievements. He won 3 Grand Slam singles titles and 2 in doubles. Ashe made history as the first black player on the United States Davis Cup team and remains the only black man to win singles titles at Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, and the Australian Open. In 1975, Ashe was ranked world number 1 by several tennis experts and publications. He received the Martini and Rossi Award and was named ATP Player of the Year. Although the ATP computer rankings placed him at number 2 in May 1976, His impact on the sport was undeniable. Sadly, his life took a tragic turn when he contracted AIDS, which ultimately led to his passing. But before we tell you all the details, make sure to subscribe. In July 1979, at the age of 36, Ashe suffered a heart attack while leading a tennis clinic in New York. Given his high level of fitness as a professional athlete, this heart attack drew significant attention to the hereditary nature of heart disease. Ashe's mother had passed away from cardiovascular disease at just 27, and his father had suffered heart attacks at 55 and 59, with the second occurring just a week before Ashe's own attack. Cardiac catheterization revealed that one of Ashe's arteries was completely closed, another was 95% blocked, and a third was 50% blocked in 2 places. On December 13, 1979, Ashe underwent a quadruple bypass surgery performed by Dr. John Hutchinson. A few months after his surgery, Ashe was eager to return to professional tennis. However, during a family trip to Cairo, Egypt, he experienced chest pains while running. Concerned, he stopped running and, along with his close friend Douglas Stein, sought medical advice. Stein urged him to return to New York City to be close to his cardiologist, surgeon, and top-tier medical facilities. In 1983, Ashe underwent a second heart surgery to correct issues from the previous procedure. Following this surgery, he became the national campaign chairman for the American Heart Association, promoting heart health and awareness. In September 1988, Ashe was hospitalized after experiencing paralysis in his right arm. Exploratory brain surgery and numerous tests revealed he had toxoplasmosis, a parasitic disease commonly found in people with HIV. Further testing confirmed that Ashe was HIV positive. He and his doctors believed he contracted the virus from blood transfusions during his second heart surgery. Ashe and his wife decided to keep his illness private to protect their 2-year-old daughter. In September 1992, Ashe suffered a mild heart attack. Around this time, a friend of his who worked for USA Today heard rumors about his illness and called him to confirm the story. Faced with the impending publication, Ashe decided to preempt the newspaper and publicly announced on April 8, 1992, that he had contracted HIV. Although he criticized USA Today for forcing his hand, Ashe also expressed relief that he no longer had to keep his illness a secret. Following his announcement, hundreds of readers contacted USA Today to criticize their decision to publish the story that led to Ashe revealing his condition. AIDS eventually claimed his life. On February 6, 1993, Ashe passed away from AIDS-related pneumonia at New York Hospital at 3:13 p.m. at the age of 49. His death marked a profound loss to the world. 4 days later, on February 10th, his funeral was held at the Arthur Ashe Athletic Center in Richmond, Virginia. Governor Douglas Wilder, a close friend of Ashe's, made a special arrangement for his body to lie in state at the governor's mansion in Richmond. This gesture allowed more than 5,000 people to come and pay their respects, lining up to walk past his casket. The funeral was a deeply emotional event, officiated by Andrew Young, who had also performed the service at Ashe's wedding in 1977. Over 6,000 mourners attended, showing just how much Ashe was loved and admired. Honoring his final wish, Ashe was buried alongside his mother in Woodland Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia, a touching tribute to his deep family ties. 2 days later, on February 12th, a memorial service was held at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine in Manhattan. This service offered another opportunity for family, friends, and admirers to come together and celebrate Ashe's life and legacy. His excellence was way beyond just tennis. After retiring from tennis, Arthur Ashe embraced many new roles. He became a writer for Time magazine and The Washington Post, and he worked as a commentator for ABC Sports and HBO from the early 1980s until just a few months before his death. Ashe was also dedicated to nurturing young talent and founded the National Junior Tennis League. From 1981 to 1985, he served as captain of the U.S. Davis Cup team. His contributions to the sport were recognized in 1985 when he was elected to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Ashe was deeply committed to civil rights. In 1985, he was part of a delegation of 31 prominent African Americans who visited South Africa to witness the country's political changes toward racial integration. That same year, on January 11th, he was arrested outside the South African embassy in Washington, D.C., during an anti-apartheid rally. Years later, on September 9, 1992, he was arrested again, this time outside the White House, protesting the crackdown on Haitian refugees. His career was truly extraordinary.
Ladies and gentlemen, France won the toss, serving first.
In 1968, Ashe won the United States Amateur Championships and the first U.S. Open of the Open era, making him the first black male to win the title and the only player to win both the Amateur and Open National Championships in the same year. Due to his amateur status, he couldn't accept the $14,000 prize money, which went to runner-up Tom Acker, while Ashe received just $20 a day for expenses. His brother Johnny's decision to serve an additional tour in Vietnam allowed Arthur to maintain his amateur status and avoid the Vietnam War draft. In December 1968, Ashe helped the U.S. win the Davis Cup, and by the end of the year, he had won 10 of 22 tournaments with a 72-10 match record. In 1969, he helped the U.S. retain the Davis Cup, defeating Romania in the final. In 1970, Ashe won his second Grand Slam singles title at the Australian Open. That year, South Africa was expelled from the Davis Cup competition due to its racial policies. Ashe turned professional and signed a 5-year contract with Lamar Hunt's World Championship Tennis. Though he reached the Australian Open final again in 1971, he lost to Ken Rosewall. In 1972, Ashe reached the U.S. Open final, but lost to Ilya Nastase after leading the match. Frustrated by the lack of fair winnings for players, he helped found the Association of Tennis Professionals and became its president in 1974. In 1973, Ashe joined an ATP boycott of Wimbledon, protesting the suspension of Yugoslavian player Niki Pilic. In 1975, Ashe won the WCT finals and then Wimbledon, defeating Jimmy Connors in a stunning upset. Ashe continued to play, winning the Australian Open doubles in 1977. But a heel injury and subsequent heart surgery in 1979 led to his retirement in 1980. His career record was 818 wins, 260 losses, and 51 titles. That is it for this one. But if you happen to like tennis legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel Tennis Icons. I'm sure you will love it.
Psychological scars left by the knife assault of a crazed fan, she was back, looking as brilliant as ever.
Prodigy on the court, Monica Seles dominated women's tennis with her powerful strokes and fierce determination. At just 19, she had already claimed 8 Grand Slam titles, seemingly destined for a career of unparalleled success. But then, in a shocking turn of events, a deranged fan's attack forever altered the course of her life. The scars ran deep, both physically and emotionally, leaving Seles to grapple with the devastating aftermath of a senseless act of violence. If you're ready to explore the heartbreaking story of a tennis icon whose life was tragically interrupted, hit that subscribe button and join us as we uncover the resilience and strength of Monica Seles. Monica Seles, born in the former Yugoslavia, was a tennis prodigy whose meteoric rise captivated the world. Her journey to stardom began at a tender age. Her natural talent and unwavering determination setting her on a path to greatness. From her first swings on the court, Seles displayed a precocious aptitude for the game. Her powerful two-handed ground strokes, a unique and unorthodox style at the time, became her signature weapon, generating blistering pace and accuracy that left opponents scrambling. Her grunting, a vocal expression of her intensity and focus, became a trademark, adding to her aura of invincibility. Seles's ascent through the junior ranks was swift and impressive. She captured numerous titles, her dominance on the court foreshadowing the success that awaited her on the professional circuit. At just 16, she turned pro, embarking on a journey that would see her rewrite the record books and redefine women's tennis. Her impact was immediate and undeniable. Seles's aggressive style of play, coupled with her mental toughness, made her a formidable opponent. She fearlessly attacked from the baseline, her two-handed forehand and backhand generating winners from seemingly impossible angles. Her grunting, once a source of controversy, became a symbol of her unyielding focus and competitive spirit. In 1990, at the age of 16, Seles captured her first Grand Slam title at the French Open, defeating the legendary Steffi Graf in a thrilling final. It was a watershed moment, a signal that a new era in women's tennis had arrived. Over the next 3 years, Seles would add 7 more Grand Slam titles to her resume, her dominance on the court seemingly unstoppable. Her achievements were nothing short of remarkable. She became the youngest ever French Open champion, the youngest to hold the world #1 ranking, and the first woman since Helen Wills Moody to win 3 consecutive French Open titles. Her aggressive style of play and her unwavering determination revolutionized women's tennis, inspiring a generation of young players to push the boundaries of the sport. Seles' rise to prominence was a testament to her extraordinary talent, her tireless work ethic, and her unwavering belief in herself. She was a prodigy, a force of nature, and a champion whose impact on tennis continues to be felt today. It was a sunny afternoon in Hamburg, Germany, April 30th, 1993. The tennis world was captivated by the Citizen Cup, a tournament featuring some of the sport's brightest stars. Among them was 19-year-old Monica Seles, the world's #1 ranked player and a rising phenom with a seemingly unstoppable trajectory. During a changeover in her quarterfinal match, the unthinkable happened. A deranged fan of Seles' rival, Steffi Graf, lunged from the stands and plunged a 9-inch knife into her back. The attack was swift and brutal, the blade piercing through Seles's flesh and leaving her writhing in pain on the court. The scene that unfolded was one of utter chaos and disbelief. Spectators screamed in horror. Players and officials rushed to Seles's aid, and the assailant, Gunter Parch, was apprehended. The tennis world was in shock, the idyllic image of the sport shattered by a senseless act of violence. The physical wounds inflicted on Seles were severe, but the psychological scars ran even deeper. The attack left her traumatized, her sense of safety and security irrevocably shattered. The fear, the confusion, and the sheer senselessness of the act left an indelible mark on her psyche. The incident sent shockwaves through the sporting world, raising questions about security at events and the obsessive nature of some fans. It also highlighted the vulnerability of athletes, even those at the pinnacle of their career, to the unpredictable and often dangerous actions of individuals consumed by their own twisted desire. For Seles, the on-court stabbing was a turning point, a moment that forever altered the course of her life and career. The physical wounds eventually healed, but the emotional scars lingered, impacting her confidence, her motivation, and her ability to return to the sport she loved. The attack on Monica Seles remains one of the most infamous moments in sports history, a stark reminder of the dark side of fandom and the devastating consequences of unchecked obsession. It's a tragedy that continues to resonate today, a testament to the resilience of a young woman who faced unimaginable adversity and fought valiantly to reclaim her life and her passion for the game. The physical wound from the stabbing healed relatively quickly, but the psychological trauma inflicted on Monica Seles was profound and enduring. The attack shattered her sense of security, leaving her with deep-seated anxieties and fears that would haunt her for years to come. The once fearless competitor, who had thrived on the energy of the crowd, now struggled with the mere thought of stepping back onto a tennis court. The cheers of the fans were replaced by the echoes of the attack, the memory of the knife plunging into her back, a constant source of nightmares and flashbacks. Seles' absence from the sport stretched on for over 2 years, a period marked by intense therapy, self-reflection, and a grueling battle to regain her mental and emotional well-being. She withdrew from the public eye, seeking solace in the comfort of her family and close friends. The tennis world mourned her absence, the sport robbed of one of its brightest stars. The road to recovery was long and arduous. Seles faced setbacks and moments of doubt, her confidence and motivation fluctuating as she grappled with the trauma. The fear of another attack, the anxiety of being in the spotlight, and the lingering physical pain all conspired to keep her away from the game she loved. But Seles, a fighter at heart, refused to surrender. She sought professional help, engaged in therapy, and gradually began to rebuild her life, one step at a time. She found strength in her family, her friends, and the unwavering support of her fans, who never gave up hope that she would one day return to the court. Seles's journey back to tennis was a testament to her resilience and her unwavering spirit. It was a journey marked by courage, determination, and the unwavering belief that she could overcome the darkness that had enveloped her life. In 1995, after a 2-year hiatus, Monica Seles made her long-awaited return to professional tennis. The world watched with bated breath, eager to witness the comeback of a champion. Seles, though still carrying the emotional scars of the attack, displayed flashes of her former brilliance, her powerful ground strokes and unwavering determination, reminding everyone of her immense talent. She reached the final of the 1995 U.S. Open, a remarkable feat considering the trauma she had endured. However, the victory that would have completed her fairy tale comeback eluded her. She lost to Steffi Graf, her rival, and the unwitting catalyst for the attack that had derailed her career. Seles' return to tennis was marked by both triumph and struggle. She continued to compete at a high level, capturing one more Grand Slam title at the 1996 Australian Open. But the shadow of the past lingered. The fear, the anxiety, and the lingering physical pain never fully subsided. Her performances were inconsistent, her once dominant aura diminished. The mental and emotional toll of the attack continued to weigh heavily on her. Seles struggled with her weight, her eating habits, and her overall well-being. The pressure to recapture her former glory, coupled with the constant reminders of the trauma she had endured, proved to be an insurmountable burden. In 2003, Seles stepped away from the sport once again, her comeback marred by the lingering shadows of the past. Her final retirement in 2008 marked the end of a career that had been tragically cut short, leaving fans to wonder what might have been had she not been robbed of her prime year. Seles' comeback, while a testament to her resilience and courage, was ultimately a bittersweet reminder of the devastating impact of the attack. She may have returned to the court, but the scars remain, forever altering the trajectory of her career and her life. Monica Seles' story is a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of the human spirit. Her journey, marked by both triumph and tragedy, continues to inspire and captivate. Her courage in the face of unimaginable adversity is a testament to her strength and resilience. As we reflect on her legacy, let us celebrate her achievements, acknowledge her struggles, and honor her unwavering spirit. What are your thoughts on Monica Seles' remarkable journey? Share your reflections in the comments below, and let's continue the conversation. Lew Hoad, a name that once echoed through the hallowed halls of tennis history. With his effortless grace and explosive power, he captured the hearts of fans worldwide. But behind the radiant smile and seemingly invincible spirit lay a story tinged with sadness and a tragic end. This is the tale of Lew Hoad, a tennis legend whose life was as captivating as his game, and whose untimely demise left a void in the sport that would never be filled. In the golden age of Australian tennis, a young Lew Hoad emerged as a shining star. With his powerful serve, aggressive net play, and natural athleticism, he captivated audiences with his electrifying style. Hoad burst onto the scene in the early 1950s, quickly establishing himself as a force to be reckoned with. At just 18 years old, he reached the finals of the Australian Championships, showcasing his immense potential. In the years that followed, Hoad's star continued to rise. He clinched his first Grand Slam singles title at the French Championships in 1956, followed by victories at Wimbledon and his home slam, the Australian Championships, that same year. His aggressive playing style and sheer power made him a fan favorite, and his rivalry with fellow Australian Ken Rosewall became one of the most exciting in tennis history. Hoad's youthful energy and undeniable talent made him a symbol of a new era in tennis, one filled with thrilling matches and unforgettable moments. Lew Hoad's meteoric rise was tragically interrupted by a relentless adversary, a debilitating back injury. The same explosive power that propelled his game also placed immense strain on his body. The pain began as a nagging discomfort, but it soon intensified, threatening to derail his promising career. Despite the excruciating pain, Hoad's determination never wavered. He continued to play, pushing his body to the limit, driven by an unwavering passion for the sport. His resilience was awe-inspiring, but the toll on his body was undeniable. The injury forced him to alter his playing style, robbing him of some of his signature explosiveness. The constant pain and limitations took a toll on his mental and emotional well-being. He struggled with frustration and disappointment, watching helplessly as his ranking slipped and opportunities dwindled. The physical and psychological burden of the injury tested his spirit, but he refused to surrender to despair. In 1978, Hoad underwent spinal fusion surgery, a risky procedure that offered a glimmer of hope. The surgeon, upon examining the extent of the damage, was astonished that Hoad had been able to play at all, let alone compete at the highest level. The surgery was a success, and Hoad experienced a newfound freedom from pain. The relief was palpable. He spoke of his back feeling marvelous and absolutely perfect. The surgery not only alleviated his physical suffering, but also reignited his zest for life. He embraced his newfound mobility, enjoying activities he had once taken for granted. Hoad's battle with his back injury is a testament to his extraordinary resilience and unwavering spirit. He refused to let pain and adversity define him, choosing instead to fight back and reclaim his life. His story serves as an inspiration to anyone facing challenges, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can triumph. Even as tennis took a back seat, Lew Hoad's vibrant spirit continued to shine. He embraced life beyond the court with the same enthusiasm and zest that had defined his playing career. Settling in Spain with his wife, Jenny Staley, he embarked on a new chapter, establishing a tennis resort that became a haven for players and enthusiasts alike. Lew Hoad's Campo de Tennis was more than just a business venture. It was a testament to his enduring love for the game. He relished the opportunity to share his passion with others, offering coaching and mentorship to aspiring players. The resort became a vibrant community where laughter, camaraderie, and the rhythmic thwack of tennis balls filled the air. Beyond the courts, Hoad embraced the simple pleasures of life. He spent time with his family, indulging in his love for fishing and enjoying the picturesque Spanish landscape. His infectious smile and warm personality endeared him to locals and visitors alike. Though his professional tennis career had come to an end, Hoad's spirit remained indomitable. He found fulfillment in his new ventures and cherished the relationships he fostered. His life beyond tennis was a testament to his adaptability and his ability to find joy in the everyday moments. Life, with its unpredictable turns, dealt Lew Hoad a devastating blow in the winter of 1994. At the age of 59, amidst enjoying his life away from the professional tennis circuit, he received a diagnosis that shook him to his core: a rare and incurable form of leukemia. The news was a cruel twist of fate, a stark reminder that even the strongest among us are vulnerable to the whims of illness. Hoad, who had battled back from a career-threatening injury, now faced a far more formidable opponent. The diagnosis cast a long shadow over his life, a chilling reminder of his mortality. The tennis world was stunned. Hoad, the once invincible champion, was now facing a battle he couldn't win on the court. The outpouring of support from fans, friends, and fellow players was a testament to the impact he had made on the sport and the lives he had touched. For Hoad, the diagnosis was a stark reality check. The future he had envisioned, filled with family, friends, and the simple pleasures of life, was now uncertain. The disease progressed rapidly, leaving him weak and fatigued. The once vibrant and energetic man was now confined to his bed, his body ravaged by the relentless leukemia. Despite the grim prognosis, Hoad faced his illness with characteristic courage and grace. He refused to let the disease define him, choosing instead to cherish the time he had left with his loved ones. He drew strength from his family and friends, their unwavering support providing him with comfort and solace during his darkest hours. The news of Hoad's leukemia diagnosis served as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life. It underscored the importance of cherishing every moment and appreciating the precious gift of health. For Hoad, the diagnosis was a heartbreaking turn of events, but it also brought into sharp focus the things that truly mattered: love, family, and the enduring spirit of the human heart. As the leukemia progressed, Lew Hoad's physical strength dwindled, but his spirit remained unbroken. He faced his final months with remarkable courage and dignity, surrounded by the love and support of his family and friends. Despite the pain and uncertainty, Hoad never lost his sense of humor or his zest for life. He continued to share stories and laughter with his loved ones, creating precious memories that would forever be cherished. His unwavering optimism in the face of adversity was a testament to his extraordinary character. On July 3, 1994, Lew Hoad passed away peacefully at the age of 59. The tennis world mourned the loss of a true legend, a player whose brilliance on the court was matched only by his warmth and generosity off it. His passing left a void in the hearts of many, but his legacy lived on. In the wake of his death, tributes poured in from around the globe, celebrating his remarkable life and contributions to the sport. He was remembered not only for his Grand Slam victories and captivating playing style, but also for his resilience, his humor, and his unwavering love for the game. Hoad's final chapter, though marked by sadness, was also a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. He faced his illness with grace and dignity, reminding us all of the importance of living life to the fullest and cherishing every precious moment. Lew Hoad's legacy transcends his untimely passing. He is remembered not only as a tennis virtuoso, but also as a symbol of courage and resilience. His electrifying playing style and infectious personality continue to inspire generations of players. Tributes and memorials stand as a testament to his enduring impact on the sport. Though his life was tragically cut short, Lew Hoad's spirit lives on, forever etched in the hearts of those who witnessed his brilliance and admired his unwavering love for the game. If you were touched by his story, share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's celebrate the remarkable life of this tennis legend.